Hello everyone and welcome to this Smart Fusion expert session where we will discuss the effect of Smart Fusion process control on microstructure formation. My name is Kaney and Nagasmi and I work as a process engineer for laser powder bed fusion of metals at EOS.
Also, hello from my side and welcome to this technical webinar session today. My name is Nagasmi and I'm a PhD candidate in Innovation Metal Solution team at EOS. Today we are going to present to you two application parts made out of two different materials, aluminium silicium 10 Mg and MS1, and show you how Smart Fusion can help us to have a homogeneous microstructure and mechanical properties throughout the entire part. So let's start. For a specific application in different industries, we create custom parts with a complex shape. These shapes often have geometrical features like overhangs, hollow structure, and changing in the cross-sectional area. All these geometrical features affect the thermal behavior during the manufacturing processes. With a Smart Fusion, we can now adjust the laser power in real time, which helps us control the heat more precisely. This ensures a consistent cooling rate and helping to prevent overheating during the entire process. When it comes to metal alloys, a consistent cooling rate is a crucial key factor for achieving a uniform microstructure, as microstructural properties is coupled and linked with the mechanical properties. Having a uniform microstructure will ensure a homogeneous mechanical properties. So now, with a Smart Fusion, we are able to create a complex part with a homogeneous mechanical properties. Here in this slide, we are presenting to you two application parts made with the two of the most important materials in additive manufacturing, and explaining how Smart Fusion can help us to achieve more consistent properties. We have a lightweight bracket made of aluminium silicium 10 Mg. This part has the geometrical features, for example, a bulky section with a poor heat flux and also low overhangs angles. Both of these geometrical features affect the thermal behavior during printing process. This means we will have a different cooling rate in different position of this part. As previously mentioned, change in cooling rates affects solidification condition and directly impact microstructural properties. Therefore, different cooling rates leads to inhomogeneity in properties. Often in industries, to tackle this problem, they use post-processing steps like heat treatment for properties homogenization. Using heat treatment will increase cost per part and also manufacturing time.
The second critical aspect of the thermal history in laser powder bed fusion is the overheating over the build height. This causes super elevation of parts, which can lead to recoater contact and, in the worst case, interrupted or failed build jobs. A common solution to prevent this is to introduce a minimum layer time, which gives the material enough time to cool down after a layer is exposed. An obvious downside to this is that it increases build time and results in higher cost per part. Later on, we will also take a quick look at how minimum layer times can affect the microstructure. A typical example of a part where an AM engineer might choose to add a waiting time is this tooling insert made of MS1. The geometry tapers off toward the top, which means that the time between exposures, often referred to also as interlayer time, is getting shorter and shorter as the build progresses. This also means that the surface temperatures will rise over the build height. Additionally, there's a small overhang region in the center of the part where the heat flux is limited, and as a result, local overheating can also occur. As illustrated, both of our selected applications contain geometric features that can cause overheating somehow. To systematically analyze the potential effects of such features on the microstructure, we use a test geometry that generates severe heat accumulation. It consists of three cones with an overhang angle of about 45 degrees stacked on top of each other. They are connected by small cylindrical pins, which also act as thermal bottlenecks. The part may look deceivingly simple, but is actually a rather challenging build. The geometry is very much inspired by previous studies on the subject, and multiple researchers have used similar geometries to this in the past. Moving away from the application side for a moment and going a bit more into theory, we present two causes of heat accumulation and how Smart Fusion can deal with them on this slide. What is plotted here are the mean OT gray values of an uncontrolled or standard and a Smart Fusion controlled part over the build height. On the left side, we see the results of a set of tall and thin cuboids built on an M290. This represents a very low build job load with short interlayer times, which do not provide enough cooling time from one layer to the next. Over the build height, the part surface temperature, and as a result, the mean gray value in OT increases. Smart Fusion combats this effect by reducing the laser power accordingly. The trend in this case is the further away we are from the build plate, which acts as our heatsink, the lower the energy input needs to be. This then leads to a homogeneous mean gray value for the entire part. In the heat demonstrator, the thermal history is a bit more complicated. As you can see, the mean gray value changes with the geometry in the uncontrolled sample. So to achieve a constant gray value, Smart Fusion needs to initially reduce the laser power as the cone radius grows, but then gradually increase it again after the maximum diameter is reached. This pattern is then repeated again and again for the middle and the top cone. In addition to managing the heat over the build height, Smart Fusion also needs to reduce the power more in the overhang region than in the core of the part. This is achievable because Smart Fusion can adjust the power locally on a pixel by pixel basis. Thermal history can be even more complex in real parts. For the lightweight RC10mg bracket, for example, the mean gray value fluctuates due to the drastic changes in geometry and the exposure area over the build height. Bulky sections such as the ring geometry near the top of the part, as well as the overhang areas, generate regions where the OT signal is elevated. Actually, the ring geometry is clearly visible as a plateau of higher gray values from about 130 to 180 mm build height. In the MS1 tooling insert, the gray value plot is more straightforward. Heat is accumulated during build-up until a maximum of around 26,000 gray values is reached. With an initial value of about 20,000, this marks a 30% increase. The bump at around 120 mm can be explained by the overhang in the center of the part. It is typical for MS1 that excessive temperatures, like we see here, are accompanied by tempering colors on the part surface. You can see this in the slightly more brownish appearance of the sample built without Smart Fusion.
Smart Fusion technology mitigates overheating-induced porosity like keyhole porosities. In this slide, we present an optical cross-sectional image of two heat demonstrator parts with the OT stack images captured during manufacturing process. On the left side, we see a part that has been built using high volume energy density process parameters, while the right one built with a Smart Fusion and with the inline laser power adjustments. If we compare OT stack images of these two samples, we see a high variation in radiation intensity from the sample made with the high volume energy density. This actually shows us that we have an inhomogeneous thermal behavior and also some overheated regions as well. In contrast, the real-time laser adjustment with the Smart Fusion results in a more uniform radiation intensity throughout the entire manufacturing process. Comparing the porosity level that has been measured by the areal defect density from cross-sectional image show 10 times improvement in porosity level from approximately 0.6% in the sample built without a Smart Fusion to 0.06% with the sample built with the applied Smart Fusion. Let's get back to our application parts to understand how Smart Fusion can help us to achieve homogeneous part properties like microstructural properties. We first need to understand how the microstructure of aluminum silicium 10 Mg forms during the laser powder bed fusion process. In laser powder bed fusion, as we know, a laser source selectively melts the material to create a melt pulse. At the solid-use-liquid-use interface, the alpha aluminum phase begins to nucleate and grains grow in the direction of the thermal flow, which is perpendicular to the melt pool boundary normally. Alpha aluminum phase has a FCC crystal structure, which is known as a deformable ductile phase. Previous studies also shown existence of silicon nanoparticles within alpha phases. At the end of solidification phase, a silicon-rich network forms at the boundaries of alpha phases, showing that this alloy has a eutectic microstructure. Silicon-rich phase acting as a hard, non-deformable phase, which actually, their presence leads to lower ductility and higher strength and hardness in the material. Studies have shown that the preheating temperature in building platform, which results in change in cooling rate, has a significant impact on the morphology of the silicon network in this material. Here in this slide, we see that an increase in preheating temperature in building platform reduces cooling rates, and this will cause degradation in silicon network. The silicon-rich phase starts to dissolve and the network structure changes into coarse large particles. As I explained previously, this phase is non-deformable hard phase. Dissolution of this phase and change in morphology increase ductility of the part and reduces hardness and strength. Looking back at the heat accumulation demonstrator parts, let's see how the microstructure is affected here. We previously saw a high variation in radiation intensity in this part when we are not using inline laser power adjustment with Smart Fusion. That created overheated region and difference in cooling rate. This simulates similar condition for material as using different preheating temperature for building platform. Therefore, similar morphological change of silicon-rich network can be detected also here. Here in this slide, we see two samples, one built with a standard process parameters and other one uses Smart Fusion and laser power adjustment. On the left side, if we take a look at BSE image taken from different position of the part and compare silicon-rich phase morphology, we see a strong dissolution of silicon phase and drastic change in morphology from network shape to a coarse large particle in the sample built without Smart Fusion. On the other hand, applying a Smart Fusion results in more homogeneous thermal behavior. Comparing the BSE images on the right side from sample built with a Smart Fusion, the silicon-rich network is getting thicker and more nanoparticles can be detected in alpha phase. When we are moving from upper side to bottom side, where we have a larger exposure area and smaller heat dissipation area. Although small change in morphology can be seen here, but still the network-like structure is remained through the whole part. A hardness profile from bottom of the sample to top has been used to exhibit change in mechanical properties and its homogeneity. The standard sample showed an average lower hardness and exhibited more significant variation in hardness as the distance from the bottom of the sample increased.
The microstructure of MS1 reacts very differently to heat accumulation compared to LC10MG. In fact, overheating can even lead to higher hardness under some circumstances. In the S-built condition, MS1 is rather weak compared to the heat-treated state. Because of its low carbon and high nickel content, the martensitic phase that forms after cooling below the martensit start temperature is relatively soft. Instead, MS1 gains its strength from the precipitation of intermetallic particles. Martensit has a lathe-like structure which can be revealed either with etching, like we did here with V2A etchant, or using EBSD. In the merging steel, a cellular and columnar solidification structure is formed due to the high cooling rates. Local accumulation of nickel, molybdenum, and titanium leads to the distinctly brighter appearance of cell boundaries. This also explains the presence of retained austenite, which is stabilized until room temperature due to the local differences in the element concentration. S-built austenite contents up to around 10% have been reported depending on the processing condition. We observed a very interesting effect when we analyzed the heat demonstrator built without Smart Fusion. While the middle and the top of the sample show a typical etching response for the S-built state, the unusually dark region above the thermal bottleneck caught our attention. A drastically different etching response like this usually hints at a severe change in microstructure. The reason for this altered microstructure is an in-situ heat treatment leading to local precipitation during processing. What plays an important role here is that this job was built with a minimum layer time. In other words, the machine waits every layer until a fixed time is expired. As a result, there is plenty of time to cool down between layers and form martensit in the bottom of the cone, since the exposure area there is very small. The blue curve shows this schematically. The martensit in this region can then be tempered during processing of subsequent layers, and by the heat that accumulates above the thermal bottleneck. If the in situ tempering is severe enough, it is plausible that precipitation can occur. As the diameter of the cone grows, less time is available for cooling, since more time is devoted to the actual exposure. As a result, the initial formation of martensit is no longer possible, and the subsequent in situ tempering is prevented. Now, the question that remains is what happens when we use Smart Fusion to produce the sample. In total, we have tested 4 combinations of minimum layer time and process control. Without Smart Fusion, we did not achieve the desired results because the part is not buildable at all or has the previously discussed microstructural changes. The different microstructure in the dark region leads to a hardness peak close to a level that is usually only achievable after aging. This supports our suggestion that precipitation is taking place during the process. With Smart Fusion, the part can be built with or without minimum layer time. In both cases, the etching response appears like the typical MS1. The sample with minimum layer time does show a hardness increase towards the bottom and the top. The reason for this is the same as before: long cooling times and tempering by the next layer, although it is not as pronounced as in the standard sample because Smart Fusion prevents strong heat accumulation. The sample built without waiting times shows a very homogeneous hardness profile regardless of the build height. This demonstrates the high potential of Smart Fusion. Not only can challenging parts be printed fast without waiting times, but uniform properties can be achieved at the same time.
Thank you very much for watching. For further reading on this subject, please take a look at our sources and on our recent paper on this subject as well. If you need additional information on other materials and more in-depth analysis, do not hesitate to contact us.